Hello and welcome to this month's Q&A video. As you may know, I recently published a new course, How to Set Up a Google Business Profile for Your Private Practice. And as I know some of you already have a profile, this month's prescription is all about reviewing them and optimizing them so that they're the best that they can be. I'll link to them both below in case you'd like to check them out. But off the back of this new content, I received a message as follows. Hi Chris, happy to be a member. Thank you. I have a Google business profile that has attracted a single review which is really bad, and I can't find any trace of the patient in my system. I think it's a bot or malicious. Can I get it removed? This is a really great question. Google business profile is fantastic, and I absolutely wholeheartedly recommend you set one up for your private practice and optimize it because it's a great way to get on page one of the search results. But a frustration I have with it is that the reviews part of the profile is what's known as an open platform, which means that anyone can leave a review, whether you've seen them as a patient or not. That's compared to a closed platform like Doctify, where reviews are essentially invite only. There are pros and cons to both approaches in terms of the integrity of the ratings for the platforms, but we'll save that for another day. So on to the question at hand, can you get a review removed from your Google business profile? It is possible, but getting Google to remove reviews is notoriously hard, I'm afraid to say, but it's not impossible. So what we need to do is build a case for the removal request. Now, for Google to even consider removing a review, it has to violate their review policy. If they think it's just because you don't like the review, there's little to no chance that they'll remove it. So step one is to review their list of prohibited and restricted content for user-generated reviews, and I'll share the link below this video to where Google lists and describe them. But essentially what we're looking at is whether the content of the review falls under deceptive content or behaviour, or it has inappropriate content or behaviour within the review. So note down which of the rules you think the review is breaking. So maybe it's fake engagement, where you haven't seen the patient, misrepresentation, where the review has false or misleading accounts of the description or quality of the good or service, or any of the rules that are listed on this page. If you think more than one rule has been broken, note them all down with a brief explanation as to why you think that review breaks that particular rule. So the bigger the case you have, the higher chance you'll have of getting it removed. So don't be backwards in coming forwards, but also don't clutch at straws either, if you know what I mean. Keep to solid arguments of where the review breaks the rules. So yeah, a top tip here is to try and take the emotion out of it. I mean, I know it feels incredibly personal, but solid, rational arguments are what's going to work here, not emotional ones. So maybe ask a more dispassionate person to help if you're feeling angry about it. And of course, I'm happy to help and play that role. So just get in touch. If you think you might have a case, that's great. So by now you should have your argument as to why you think you have one, and have some sentences written down of which of the rules the review has broken, and some detail on how it breaks them. So before you do anything with that, the next thing to do is to flag the review to Google. So log into your business profile dashboard, find and open the specific review, and click the triple dot menu, then click report review, or it might say something like flag is inappropriate or something like that. While you're there, you also need to get the link to the review for when you request its removal from Google. So click that triple dot menu again, and this time choose share review and click to copy the link. You can also get the link to it quite easily from Google Maps too, so that's another way of getting that link to the review. So now finally we can get in touch with Google. So contact them via the Google review workflow, which is essentially a fancy contact form, again using the link that's below this video. So it's here that you can manage your reviews and report the inappropriate one, sharing your arguments and the direct links to it to make it as easy as possible for them to find it. And that's it really. That's the best you can do. Fingers crossed that'll do the trick, but as I said, they don't remove them easily. So what else can you do? Well, I'd also consider replying to the review too. Keep it friendly and civil. For this particular scenario, obviously this won't always apply, but you can state that you don't have any knowledge of the patient. So that's exactly what the consultant ended up doing when he wrote, "Dear reviewer name, my practice aims to offer excellent care to all the patients I treat. I have looked through all of our records and I cannot find any patient or inquiry that matches your details. If I am mistaken, please contact the practice by email or phone and I will try to help." Now that's a really super response. It shows other or future patients that you take reviews seriously and are committed to good customer service. And he was friendly while calmly stating that he wasn't sure or knows that he didn't know them. He was open to him perhaps being wrong and offered to pick it up offline, which is also a great tactic. And he wasn't defensive or emotional. And I think that calmness behind it made him look and sound confident and reassuring. And I just think that's great. That's a great look for potential patients to see, and I think he handled that really well. So well done. All right. So what happens if Google decides not to remove the review? Well, if you're not successful with your request to Google to remove the review, my advice would be please try not to worry about it. I know that's easier said than done, and it feels very personal. But the best thing to do in this situation is to drown it out with lots of positive reviews. So people don't see 1 or 2 bad reviews among lots of good ones as an issue. And most people understand that you can't please all the people all the time. I do understand how frustrating and horrible actually, how horrible it is when you're certain it's not even your patient, as in this case. But all you can do is try to get it removed and drown out the dissenting voice with positive reviews. And besides, if you have a perfect 5-star rating, some people might actually view that suspiciously because most people know that perfection is impossible. Reviews of 4.7, for example, can feel more real and authentic than a perfect 5. So I definitely recommend going on a review drive and drowning out the poor review with lots of positive ones. I've got you covered there too, as I have a couple of quick win monthly prescriptions that can help you do that. So look out for the review booster and the testimonial drive on the prescription page for some step-by-step instructions and resources to help you get a flood of positive reviews. There's also my review and testimonial cheat sheet in the resources section as well. So, and of course I'll link to all of those below. So now just to finish up, what happens if you suspect fake reviews on a competitor's profile? So this is potentially a tricky one from a moral or karma perspective, but if you think a competitor has got some fake positive reviews, you could decide to report those reviews in the same way as we did earlier. So by finding the specific review, clicking the 3-dot menu, and then clicking to report the review. The owner of the review won't be notified that it was you who reported it, but Google may look into whether they think it's genuine or if it's violating their policy and artificially inflating the score of the business. So things to look out for or giveaway signs that a review is fake include the reviewer reviewing the same type of businesses, saying the exact or very similar thing in reviews, reviewing the same type of business in different parts of the country. Basically, you're looking out for the things that suggest that they were unlikely to have actually been treated or seen by the consultant or clinic. I said at the top that you might feel uneasy about reporting a competitor's positive reviews from a karma perspective, but if they're really not genuine, then they've either decided to use fake reviews to boost their online profile, in which case I'd say they've already made a bad decision and possibly deserve what they get, or they've used a dodgy marketing agency who may have done it behind the consultant's back or without their knowledge, and in which case they need to be made aware anyway. If the competitor consultant has what you think is a fake negative review, then you can of course be super nice and report that one too if you like, or let them know that they can become a member to see this video about getting it removed, or maybe you leave it and let them figure it out. So on that note, I think I've covered everything I was going to say about getting Google reviews removed. I hope that's helpful if you find yourself in a situation where you need to do that, but really I hope this is a video you'll never have to do anything with. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next monthly Q&A call.